Welcome to TLDW, the bite-sized show where we take one important piece of Counter-Strike news and put it up separately from our normal podcast. That way you can sound smart to your friends. My name is Logan Ramhap. I'm the host for Overtime on Inferno, but today you're going to listen to a conversation between myself and my co-host Elliot that's picked from our normal podcast on Thursday about FlyQuest and the potential conflict of interest within major qualifications and Valve's ruling. Okay, so FlyQuest Red and FlyQuest Green?
I think just
FlyQuest. FlyQuest Australia.
FlyQuest upside down.
They both qualified for the major qualifiers. They both
closed
qualifiers.
I think it was that the FlyQuest Red weren't allowed to even enter.
Well, because I know that there's actually multiple teams that this is an issue. Because I believe it's also an issue for TSM Shimmer.
Yeah.
And the standard TSM roster in Europe?
Well, honestly, just send the Shimmer roster. Honestly,
it's probably better. Okay, so let's go from the beginning here. So from a tweet from Striker yesterday, as we're recording, the August 6th ranking update, which was the one yesterday, is the one that will be used for RMR/close qualifier invites. Multiple teams under the same organization are not allowed to compete, even across multiple stages and regions. Now,
yeah.
That second bullet's the important bullet here, because we were talking the general idea here is that there are two orgs that are prevalent in this: TSM and FlyQuest. Both orgs have a women's roster and a other roster. The FlyQuest one is obviously the Australian roster and the North American roster. TSM has a European roster and a North American roster.
I think a Danish roster, no?
Yeah, okay, a Danish roster and North American roster. And the problem is that both TSM Shimmer and FlyQuest Red qualified for the closed qualifiers in North America, and TSM other roster and FlyQuest Green, as I am now deeming them, qualified in their respective regions.
Yeah.
And so what they have been told is that the Red/Shimmer rosters will not be able to compete in the closed qualifiers.
Which
I think is a shame.
But it's, obviously. I don't understand why there was any kind of argument. Of course you can't have two teams trying to qualify for the major. That's insane.
I agree. I have some stipulations on it. I agree that two teams should not be allowed to qualify for the major in such a way.
Yeah.
But I ask this very seriously. What's the probability that FlyQuest Red and FlyQuest Green both actually qualify?
Of course the probability is low, but if it happens, then you then... do you know what I mean? If it does happen, then you've got a problem on your hands that can all be avoided by just having this rule. Because, yes, in this situation... In this
one specific situation.
But if you allowed this, and then Falcons go, well, we're just going to buy the best team in the Middle East, the best team in Oceania, the best team in North America, and the 18th best team in EU, which we probably currently have. We'll get onto them in a bit. Yeah. Then, they'll try and qualify from every region because they've got the money to do so.
Yeah, but then they'll have to pick one.
Well, yeah. But they'll almost guarantee a spot at the major by doing this. It's just yes, it looks silly here, but it's obviously that has to be the rule to stop teams doing this.
I agree that has to be the rule, but I feel like there's some sort of, I don't know. It sucks if you're on FlyQuest Red here, because What do you want them to There's nothing you can ask them to do. It sucks in every way. And you know for a fact that the org, even though the red team is older than the current team, the org is not going to say, "Hey, we're going to tell the Australian roster not to try and qualify for the major."
Yeah.
And let's be clear, the Australian roster has a much higher chance of actually getting to the major, which is a monetary thing for both both the organization and the team, than the FlyQuest Red roster.
I would go as far to say if the quote-unquote main team, if the FlyQuest, the Australian
green team
makes it to the major, that probably pays the salaries of the red team for a year. So
it's it's one of those things that you look at, and I get it. I understand why people are upset.
I don't really understand why
with-
anyone's upset. It's like, yeah, no, it sucks for them, but like, yeah, no, of course they can't do this. Like, that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there should be maybe some sort of rule between if you're have like your main team versus a marginalized team. Like if you have a women's team.
Yeah,
or
but
like
I don't think that makes sense because
the thing that you
it's
said
an open
with,
tournament. Anyone can play. The whole point of the major, well, obviously they've changed now because they got fucking closed qualifiers, whatever, instead of open qualifiers. But the whole point to me was that anyone could enter, and there's no. You and your mates could enter, no matter what you look like.
Well,
you could have a team of you could have a team of dwarves with no hands. If you qualify for the major, you get to play. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter who you are. So I think it's silly to make rules based on who you are. In my eyes,
I wonder if FlyQuest was given the allowance to. I wonder if FlyQuest was given the allowance to sell the team or like. Disassociate from the team, because I know that with Apex, like what was it, the Moist team had to come to North America, and if they were under the Moist roster, they couldn't get in. But the second that Moist let them go, they were able to get into the country and compete. I wonder if
he immediately re-signed them.
Yeah, I wonder if FlyQuest could just say, "Hey, you guys are not going to be the FlyQuest roster," and that there is some amount of like, obviously there's still conflict of interest if FlyQuest is going to sign them right back after, but. If during the tournament you're not, there's something to be said for them. I wonder
if they do qualify, they get to keep all the money, like Bad News Eagles.
I wonder if that was an opportunity that FlyQuest/TSM was given.
I think FlyQuest, the organization, probably wouldn't want that to happen.
I think TSM more so would not want that to happen. I think FlyQuest would be more open to the idea. I don't know either roster. Either org would actually do it, though.
We don't know. We don't even know if it's an option. We just sort of speculate.
We're pontificating.
Good word.
All right, thank you. It's one of my favorite words.